Okay. I've been uh I've been struggling with the music of late. Can we hear the music? Eh. All right. Close enough. Well, there we go. All right, we are live talking about the Fantasy Guru Dispersal Draft. Probably just going to do a quick review of everything that's going on in the world of Dynasty leagues as we head towards the NFL Draft, which is clearly a big time for football. So yeah, throw yourself. Okay, we are live on Twitter. Hey, if you have any thoughts or questions, throw them in the chat. But we'll be talking about the Fantasy Guru Dynasty League today. We'll be breaking down the dispersal draft, how we worked it out, vetting owners, of which, we've got 8 rounds in 2 days. These guys are pretty sharp, drafted pretty sharply so far. And, kind of breaking down everything that goes along with that. So, again, this is a big time of year for Dynasty Leagues, not only with startups, but filling owners that left, whether you're just plopping owners on that team or in the case of our league, making a dispersal draft, filling leagues as we head towards rookie drafts, very important time. So, I am going to jump into what we're looking at. Oh, it stopped the music. It stopped the music. Did everyone see that? Oh, Discord. Okay, hold on. Oh, did it catch my music somewhere? All right, this is what's happening. Let's reconnect the headphones. Okay. All right, so now I know what happened. Producer Russ, his Bluetooth had been connecting to his phone the last 3 times. This makes sense. All right, so let's take a look at this league quickly. This is on myfantasyleague.com. It is a 28-team league. We had 4 teams to replace this offseason, which honestly, in my experience, I have a lot of experience with, regular 12-teamers, but 2 conference leagues are really hard to keep together. So we had 24 of 28 return, and that's pretty high considering. And we got 4 really good owners in for this year. And so the good thing about this league and why I stress so much about future picks, making sure teams aren't, blowing their future assets and busting out of the league. We have 4 teams that are being replaced. All have their future picks. All had a Devi pick. And of course, in a dynasty league, if you have the ability to just freely trade everything, eventually teams are going to leverage that for win now, the current year. It's just human nature. So if you have at least some plans in place, not a penalty, but again, paying a year in advance, other things like that, when you get time to the dispersal draft, these teams are good. I've done a lot of dispersal drafts in my life. I've had a lot of, orphan leagues. I've been in a lot of leagues with dispersal drafts. And when you come to that off season and you're like, man, how are we going to get someone to take this team? They have no future picks. They have all busted out veteran assets. That is not the case with this dispersal draft. So hopefully you can see this. Let me adjust that. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at the player pool because this is the most important part of a of a dispersal draft is, what is this player pool, right? Hold on. There we go. All right. So it's a super flex. There are, 9 starting or 11 starting spots. You only have to start one of each position. Most of the time you're going to want to start 2 quarterbacks, but this is a best ball league, so you have a little more leg room with the super flex spot as opposed to starting a quarterback every week. Sometimes if you're really deep at running back, wide receiver, you can get away with only having one really solid quarterback. But anyway, that's part of the strategy. Passing yards and passing production are beefed up in this format. I wanted to do that because, passing quarterbacks are important. I like to have them matter, and I played on a lot of leagues where Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers didn't matter their entire careers, and I wanted them to matter. So, there you go. Shout out to Phil Rivers. You matter to me, my friend. And so when you look at this player pool, right, for teams, we have 2 copies of Lamar Jackson. For those of you that haven't played in a 2-conference league, so it's 2 14-team leagues that are all competing against each other. So there's going to be 2 copies of every player. As you can see with the quarterbacks, there are 2 copies of Lamar Jackson and 2 copies of Dak Prescott. In a dispersal draft, in a super flex, that's money. That's huge. Most of the time, you're going to be picking between Kenny Pickett and Marcus Mariota in a super flex dispersal, but 2 copies of Lamar and Dak, and then you got Deshaun Watson and Anthony Richardson. I mean, these are all top 3-round startup picks that you're getting. So that's good stuff right there. As you can see, so if you're a commissioner, this is how I've seen it set up in the past. We have the player pool section here, which is all 4 of those teams. Just I put, into a list here. It's 30 roster spots. And then we have the draft here. So these are the 4 folks. And here's how they've been drafting. Ooh, hold on. So that's the draft so far. As you can see, both copies of Lamar Jackson went first 2 picks. Quarterbacks went the whole first round. So that's important information. Marvin Harrison went round 2. I think that's a pretty darn good pick there. A.J. Brown, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson rounded out round 2. So, I mean, we're going to see this in any Superflex league. And personally, I like this. I like when quarterbacks matter. I feel like the one quarterback thing really just depletes the position, for better or worse. I mean, you can have a Josh Allen type that super matters, or that Lamar Jackson MVP season. But for the most part, in a 1 QB league, you can get away with just patching it together. That's why I think, putting together this type of format with Superflex, I like positions to matter. I feel like it's a waste of time. Like tight end, sometimes you got to question what the point of tight end is. You know what I mean? So, all right, hold on. Let me... All right, we got a few more minutes here. Okay, so again, each of these guys, we have a Discord set up where everyone's communicating. I was sort of talking to them all individually, and then it was suggested to me, hey, why don't we have a Discord set up so that everyone can kind of add each other when we're on the clock and all this good stuff. So really good setup so far. And again, everyone's been pretty timely with their picks. As you can see, the top guys are pretty much gone. But we're 8 rounds in to this startup. So that's usually around when things start to thin out. We're starting to see some rookies be taken, the rookie picks be taken. So again, while this is a dispersal, and we're entering year 2 of the league, there's actually some pretty good, like, these teams are going to be pretty competitive this upcoming season, which I'm really happy about. I really love that. There are some premium picks in here. We saw Marvin Harrison. We're also looking at, A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, George Pickens, Devon Achane, Pittman, Flowers, Addison. Look at that, round 4-5. Like, that's guys that would go in a 14-teamer. Those are guys that would go in round 4 or 5 of a startup draft. Sam Laporta, round 6. Tank Dell, Mark Andrews, the 104. So the 104 in a Devy league. Again, this is a Devy league. So every year there's a 1-round college developmental draft where you can pick any player that is not draft eligible in the current draft class. So last year, guys like Drake May, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison all got drafted in this draft. So now they were placed on active rosters because those guys picked them last year. So always super fun, when you got a Brock Bowers or Marvin Harrison or Caleb Williams to just kind of slide onto your active roster. That's a really fun element. I was telling the guys this morning, not so fun. I used to do Devy leagues with like 3 and 5 round Devy drafts every year. And I was laughing about Malachi Dupree because he was a guy I was super high on and he barely made it to the NFL. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of guys that don't make it to the NFL. And then there's a lot of not valuing Devy picks. That's why I made these not tradable. This is for a lot of these folks, out of the 28 folks, a lot of people have never played in a Devy league before. And as someone who has gone through that, what usually happens in Devy leagues where not many people have played in them, everyone trades their Devy picks and then the league's over by year 3. So we did put up some bowling bumpers for that one, but I do want everyone to have the opportunity. This is mainly because having a Devy player on your roster is super fun. You get to, every week during college, you get to root for a guy, his draft stock maybe 1 or 2 years in advance. You're rooting for this guy. You want him to get a better quarterback if it's a wide receiver. You want him to get a better system. You're rooting for this guy to develop over the years and become a top pick. And then you hit on that Devy pick and you get, a huge boost to your roster even before the rookie draft happens. But again, there is a rookie draft every year, and we don't want that to be totally depleted. So I've gone into years with rookie drafts where the 101 is like the 109 in a rookie draft. And that just kind of depletes the whole point of a rookie draft when there's just nobody of value in there. So, again, guys in this rookie draft, J.J. McCarthy, Roma Dunze, Malik Neighbors, all guys available right now. All the running backs for this year other than Braylon Allen and Travion Henderson, who didn't even declare this year. So, there's a lot of good stuff. And again, for these dispersal folks, look at all these rookie picks. Mwah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay. So, again, we are 8 rounds into this thing. As you can see, it's starting to thin out a little bit. We are doing 30 rounds. So by round 27, 28, if you've ever done a large startup, we're basically phoning it in by then and waiting for the rookie draft. But, that's another thing. 3-round rookie draft, right? Even in a 14-teamer, that's 42. What is that? 42 spots. So that's like four and a half. That's like 3.5 rounds of a rookie draft for a 12-teamer. If we do a 6-round, 5-round rookie draft, which many people enjoy doing, I'm fine with it. But you're depleting the waiver wire, and especially in a 14-teamer, the waiver wire is so thin that, you know, once you get past round 3 of a rookie draft, it's kind of fun to have an off period, have training camp, have a few guys emerge like Puka Nacua, and maybe they don't get drafted. And then there's a prize on the waiver wire for your league that everyone can bid after. So that's what we're looking at here. But as you can see, things are thinning out. Probably going to be some wide receivers drafted in the next couple rounds. Some tight ends are looking good. People haven't really picked tight end much for good reason, but might start to see some focus there in the next couple rounds. Zach Charbonnet. Yeah, we're getting later. When will Austin Eckler go? Round 8, round 9, round 10. Yeah, Elijah Moore, Treylon Burks. Oh, Tyler Boyd, my boy. So that's pretty much it for me. Just wanted to update everyone, talk about dispersal drafts and how this is going, which has gone pretty smooth. Sometimes they aren't always going smooth. So just wanted to share the experience here and what we're doing over at the Fantasy Guru Dynasty League. More updates to come. Shout out to Brian Denham, Dan Chasfull, and Devin for joining the league. You guys rock. Thank you for being good drafters. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later.